Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to start with identifying multiples, and that will be our goal for today. But before we get into that skill, I want to just do a quick review about our patterns of 10, something we focused on back at the beginning of the school year. So what I have here is our question is compare the 6 in 34,622 and 36,509 using the words 10 times. So what I first noticed is I have a 6 in the hundreds place, giving me 600. And then in the second number, I have a 6 in the thousands place. Immediately when I compare them, I know 6,000 is bigger, but I need to use the words 10 times. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I get from 600 to 6,000? How do I get there? Now, if we think of a place value chart, we know that the hundreds place to the thousands place is only one place value away. And I know if I'm talking about 10 times as much, one place value is 10 times larger. So I know 600 times 10 equals 6,000, but it says to use words. I know 6,000 is 10 times larger than 600. Right? It's one place value bigger. The thousands place is bigger than the hundreds place by 10 times as much. Let's go ahead and have you try the next one on your own. I'd like you to pause your video and try this one. It says compare the 4 in 44,000. Compare the 4s in 44,529 using the words 10 times. So we're comparing this 4 and this 4. Go ahead, take a minute, compare, and pause your video, and then we'll check back with me. I said that 40,000, our first 4 is in the 10,000s place, and it has a value of 40,000. It's 10 times greater than 4,000. There's one place value in between, so we know that that's 10 times as much. Just a reminder on your math calendar for the first 7 days, you're going to have problems like this. So it's talking about 10 times as much, which means we move every digit one place value to the left because it's getting bigger. So I would have 150. It goes, the tens would go to the hundreds, the ones would go to the tenths, and then we'd go to 0 in the ones place. Okay? Let's get started with today. My question for you is, what is a multiple? We talked about it a little bit yesterday, and we talked about what in 3rd grade you called it. Any ideas? A multiple is when you're skip counting by whole numbers. Those numbers that we say while we're skip counting, those are multiples. So in 3rd grade, we'd say skip count by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are called multiples. The 2, the 4, the 6, the 8. So those are multiples. When I say skip count, you say multiples. Skip count, skip count. Good. Let's keep moving. My first task for you on your whiteboard is we're going to start at the number 100. And we're going to list as many multiples of 5. So let me give you an example. We start at 100 and we're going to skip count, multiples, list them by counting by 5. So for example, you would say 100, 105, 110, 115. And in 1 minute, we're trying to see how many can you come up with. Are you ready? Get set. You can write 100 down if that helps. Go. Awesome. All right, stop right there. And I only put a few just to show you. Hopefully you wrote small because I'm sure you listed a lot of them. And you were just skip counting by fives. But we started at 100. So we were listing those multiples of 5. All right, go ahead and count them up and see in your class, we'll see how many you were able to come up with. If you're at home, if you just want to email me how many you came up with multiples of 5, starting at 100. How many could you list? Don't send the email yet because we're going to do this a few times. So if you're at home, you're going to email me how many you came up with. Like, for example, I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could let me know how many you came up with. Again, if you're at home, don't email me yet because we have 3 of them. Let's go ahead and do the next one. So this one says, write the multiples of 4 starting from 20. So what I'd like you to do is, why don't we just write the number 20 first, and then we're going to start counting by 4s. So I'm going to give you a few hints. 20, 24, 28, 32, okay? On your mark. Get set. Go. All right, friends, go ahead and put your hands up. And I'm just going to show you real quick. I listed a few if you want to count them up. Again, my virtual friends, write this in your email, but don't send it because we have one more to do. Hopefully you were able to list a lot of multiples of 4. We're going to do one more, my friends. One more. This one, we're starting at 36 and we're listing our multiples of 6, okay? So like 36, 42, 48. We're going to list those multiples, 54, 60, counting by 6s, okay? I'm going to start the timer. On your mark, get set, go. All right, hands up, my friends. Count those up, how many you had. If you are virtual, you're going to just email me all 3. So starting with, we had counting by 5s, counting by 4s, and counting by 6s, and just email me how many you were able to get for all 3 of those. If you're in your classroom, just we'll take a tally and see who had the most. Now let's keep moving. So a question I have for you is, using mental math, or you can use division or the associative property from yesterday. My question is 12 a multiple of 4? Is 12 a multiple of 4? So What we're thinking of is when we skip counting by 4s, does 12 come up? What I want you to do is if you think yes, show me. Start skip counting or listing your multiples of 4. If you think no, explain why you know. Take a second, use division or the associative property. I do skip counting. All right. Hopefully when you, I don't know why I highlighted 16 because it's 12. When you are skip counting by 4s, you get to 12. So we know that yes, 12 is a multiple of 4 because when we skip count by 4s, we get to 12. Let's try another one. Go ahead, erase your boards. Now, I tried to bold this, so we noticed it was a different precise word. Is 4 a factor of 12? So in your head, you need to think, well, what is a factor? Is 4 a factor of 12? What I'm asking you, is something times 4 going to give you a product of 12? I need you to write on your board, yes, Mrs. Andrews, and explain how you know, or no, Mrs. Andrews. I'll give you a second. I'll drink my coffee while you solve this. Awesome, the correct answer is yes, it is. We can multiply 3 times 4 and it equals 12. Therefore, we know 4 is indeed a factor of 12. Now, you could have used division. You could have had 12 circles and divided it up into 4 groups and realized there's 3 in each group. You could have used, if you knew your math facts mentally, if you've already have them memorized, those are great strategies to have. I can't stress enough, my friends, practice those multiplication facts each and every night. If you're fluent, if you know them quickly, math is going to be a breeze for you this year. All right, what I want you to do right now is we have 4 precise words the last few days that we've been truly focusing on. We have prime numbers, composite numbers, factors, and multiples. What I want you to do is on your whiteboard, I want you to simply define these. What do they mean? What's a prime number? What's a composite number? And so forth. Then I want you to check back in with your homeroom teacher and tell them, what do they mean? So put into your own words. If you're at home, you can either write it on your whiteboard and email it to me. You could just straight up email me, Mrs. Andrews, a prime number is, a composite number is. So take a few minutes and do that. Pause your video. I did put the answers here, so hopefully you already sent your email. These are great precise words that we're gonna need to know. I promise you'll need to know these. Prime number, only 2 factors, 1 and me. Composite, more than 2 factors. Factor is the number you multiply to get a product. Multiples are skip counting by whole numbers. Those numbers that when we're skip counting, that's what we call them, our multiples. Now, your favorite part of today, we're gonna play Kahoots to just review some of the things we've talked about. Now in Schoology, when you go there, there's a link for students and then there's a link for your teacher. So your teacher is gonna clearly click on the teacher link and you're just gonna click on the Kahoot for students link. Then it will ask you to type in your game pin or code, okay? Thanks for working hard today, guys, and hopefully you have a deeper understanding of multiples.